Well, there is an update on the Michigan cheating scandal today. And there's a couple of interesting stories, like this Pac-12 story. We're going to talk about it coming up in a few minutes. I think is really interesting. But TCU had prior warning about the Michigan cheating operation and changed their signs and left all the fake signals and signs in place. And it worked like a charm. It absolutely worked like a charm. And I think one of the things that's so interesting is it was a known operation nationally, and nobody did anything. This Matt Weiss computer scandal happens where he's being investigated. Matt Weiss, the former offensive coordinator at Michigan, being investigated by the FBI. And all of a sudden, this outside firm that was brought in to audit Michigan football went through a treasure trove of information on Michigan football computers. And all of a sudden, they found the inner workings of a football cheating scandal. And so it all goes back to this Matt Weiss thing, which turned into the sign stealing scandal, which now everybody says, yeah, everybody knew about it. We all told the Big Ten. We all told the NCAA, which my question is, for everybody who's yelling and screaming that Michigan's being persecuted, well, it was an open secret and nobody did anything about it. How are you being persecuted? Oh, that's right, because now a crime was committed and people got forensic on that ass and found all the evidence on those computers. Oh, so now you can't just ignore it because we have the financial records, we have the planning records, we have the video evidence. To me, this is a very serious thing. And I think the other thing that I was told today that makes a lot of sense, well, mainly because I said it last week, this isn't just about the cheating scandal anymore. Now, the problem is the snowball is nearing the bottom of the hill, and it's massive because it's a recruiting dark period scandal. It is the offshoot of that recruiting scandal where Jim Harbaugh refuses to cooperate with the NCAA Committee on Infractions, isn't truthful, refuses to testify, refuses to meet with them. Then when he does, he's evasive. So the scandal's one thing. How Jim Harbaugh handled it is another thing. Now you run into this situation where you have hard evidence, it would appear, that Jim Harbaugh and his football program were running a cheating operation by stealing signs with electronic equipment in other stadiums. And if one or the other was just that issue, I think Jim would be fine. He'd take a suspension. We'd all move on about our lives. But now you've got 2, 3, 4 things that in and of themselves, and this computer thing with Matt Weiss, it's multiple victims across state lines. Okay, maybe we could just kind of say, well, you can't blame Jim Harbaugh for that. Well, but the recruiting dark period thing, well, and then he was dishonest and uncooperative, but, it's not like we caught him cheating. Oh, now we caught him cheating. So you have all these things. And now the ball's almost at the bottom of the hill. And we can write off one thing, and Matt Weiss, Jim didn't know about that. But the thing you have to remember is the new rules that say the football coach is ultimately responsible for everything that happens in the program, whether he knew about it or not. You're not getting away from this. And it might be this year. And I think this is the other point that's so important. It might be this year, might be next year. But can the Big Ten really afford to have Michigan go to the postseason and win the Big Ten championship? Can the Big Ten afford to have Michigan go to the college football playoff? Can the NCAA afford that? Because you and I both know Jim Harbaugh is walking away from this at the end of this season. And I just don't think that you can turn a blind eye and just have Jim walk away scot-free. Because then if you're Michigan, you're going to get the hammer dropped on you. I don't think you can allow that to happen. I think you have to get after Jim Harbaugh's ass.
Yeah, I mean, you have to protect the university, which is why I'm still wondering why we've heard nothing from Michigan on this. Why there's not hey, you're sitting on the sideline, you're suspended with pay until the investigation's over, XYZ, the usual spiel. Why have I not seen that? Why is it that the intern, the staffer is the only one who's been suspended, and not Jim or anybody on the staff. I don't know why, but there's a reason.
And then there's Aiden Hutchinson, one of the best Michigan players of the Jim Harbaugh era. He says it's only because Michigan's winning too much.
They're coming at Michigan when Michigan's got a shot to win the national championship this year. So I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. You know, the time will pass, and people will forget about it and move on once we're the champs again. People are always stealing signs in college football, so people stole our signs. Other Big Ten schools stole our signs. It's just a thing when you're in college football. So, I mean, not any more than anybody else did, as far as I'm concerned.
So wait, it's only because you're winning, and other people stole your signs, so you're stealing their signs. But as Bob Stoops said this week, nobody's doing what Michigan's accused of. As Nick Saban said this week, if there's evidence of this, the punishment has to be strong. Like, this is not normal.
Yeah.
Nobody, are you telling me that, oh my God, people look across the field and decipher signs? That happens every single weekend. I don't know of any other program that has got a $15,000 budget carved out for tickets and travel and is using their football interns allegedly to go in and videotape sidelines. With a football department analyst who every weekend has been now pulled off a tape where you can see him with a signal chart where he watches a signal, looks down, and then tells people what play's coming.
Come on.
Nobody else is doing that.
No.
So we can say that, oh, they're just being victimized because, oh my God.
Well, that's what's incredible to me.
Come on.
Former Michigan players, Michigan fan, Michigan defender. That's what I'll call him. Michigan defender is just so sure. You're so sure that your Superman Jim Harbaugh would never do this. And I'm so sure that he would. I have no reason to believe Jim Harbaugh wouldn't do this. What tells us he wouldn't do this? Yeah, exactly nothing.
Yeah.
Right? We know that Jim is more than happy to skirt the rules. We know that Jim is more than happy to take advantage of the pandemic and the opportunities the pandemic provided in recruiting illegally.
Yes.
We know that that's who you are, dude. So am I really supposed to be surprised that you allowed or maybe even spearheaded a sign stealing operation? I'm not surprised.
If Harbaugh walks away from this, I think they are going to hammer Michigan. I think, and if I'm Michigan, I would have already taken him off the field, because the only justification to have him continue to coach is if he's going to stay on. Never signed that contract extension, did he?
Nope.
And now you cannot. And if he walks away, I think USC is going to look like they got a slap on the pinky finger, not even the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Because Michigan very clearly has not put their dog back on a leash. And he has run roughshod over the NCAA. And I think this summer, regardless of this cheating scandal, he was going to get piped anyways because of the COVID dark period recruiting stuff and the way he treated and disrespected the NCAA. Dude, this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning. Harry Austin on Pat McAfee. Here's the problem for ESPN. Pat McAfee has always been this way, and he said he was not changing. Point blank, he said, we're not going to change this show. And Harry, you're exactly right. I agree 100%. Ryan Willie for $5. I doubt the Big will do anything concerning Michigan because they're okay with a tainted nanny. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not in this new era of college football. I really don't think so.
Yeah, not when, the TV ad partner space gets super volatile when you have drama in your conference.
And they're going to cripple Michigan football. If Jim Harbaugh walks away unscathed, they will cripple Michigan football for this. If you do not take him off the field, and I would be shocked. I would be shocked if and I said it yesterday, and I'll keep saying it. If they don't do something by close of business today, and I understand it's 5:00 Eastern, so they're probably not going to do anything. But if you're not going to do anything, I just don't.
Well, I don't understand why you wouldn't do at least something. Even even if you wanted to defend Jim, you know that there's a certain way to play the game, right? So we're way too deep into this thing to be talking about whether or not Jim should be on suspension. The proper thing to do is suspend him, just from like a logical, hey, there's a scandal in the football program. Yeah, head coach is going to have to be on paid suspended leave until we get this thing figured out. That's a standard procedure. That's nothing special. That's not anything out of left field. We've seen that 100 times in college football. So that's number one, why I'm a little surprised by that. But then number two, I really do believe, my opinion is that Michigan and the Big Ten, and specifically Tony Petitti, are working together to figure out how they're going to go about this thing, because they have to go about it somehow, some way. And, and if you're Michigan, to me, I don't think you have a leg to stand on if your aspirations were to fight the Big Ten, let's say, or fight this or go against this. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to do that. And we already know that Michigan had been cooperating with the investigation. So it seems to me like you're cooperating. You're doing everything you should be doing. You just haven't done anything about Jim yet. And the only thing I can think of why is because you have a plan with Tony Petitti to do something. But I don't know what that is.
What that is, I have no idea. Aaron Wilson gifted a membership to the program. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Aaron also says, let's go. Thanks for 7+ months of entertainment and friendship. Y'all mean the world to me, truly. Guns up. Pew, pew. Tech 24 or TCU 24, Tech 27. Ooh, we'll cover that game coming up. Hinata says, no one cares about this Michigan story except you guys. Yeah, nobody. I mean, nobody's talking about it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we're the only ones. Yeah, I know.
Right.
It's just, I can't believe we're the only. I mean, wow.
That's why ESPN's all over it now. That's
what everybody is talking about.
Come
yeah,
on.
Nobody cares.
Be better.
Thanks for the $2, though. Teddy Wayman for $5. Sup, guys? The Pat McAfee show today was great. I'm pumped for the game tomorrow. Yeah, start dropping your score predictions. Where do you guys come down on this?
By the way, how have I not seen a Connor Stalions burner phone account created yet? Come on, dude. Come on.
Yeah, we thought you guys were better than that.
Yeah, come on.
You know. Montana, didn't they lose in the playoffs last year? They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They got piped. They absolutely got piped. Mike Hawk, they can't punish the new staff and players coming in because they did nothing wrong. It needs to be this year. Oh, somebody forgot to tell USC that was the rule. I think Michigan is going to get a special kind of attention from the NCAA. I mean, you let Jim Harbaugh absolutely run wild and ignore the rules. You did nothing to check him. You did nothing to make sure he was in compliance. There's no free passes here.
Yeah.
And I think the NCAA has been fairly clear that you will pay for the sins of the father. There's no question about that. And Jim Harbaugh is going to cost them. There's no doubt about that.
Yep.
I don't see how it doesn't happen. Boyd Lake. So is Cam Rising playing tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Why, Boyd? See, this is what I don't understand about BYU fans. You know damn well he's not playing tomorrow. You're that upset about this. Well,
I don't even understand. Maybe I'm just missing this. How is that a dig? Like, it's been.
Oh, it's taken a shot at Cam Rising. There's no doubt about that. Or at least, and maybe, Boyd, I'm wrong. I don't think so, but maybe I'm wrong. I feel like, and I say that because I hear this from BYU fans all the time. I hear BYU fans saying, hey, we're just, oh boy, Utah. Hey, by the way, is Cam back? And you get all pissed at Utah.
Yeah.
They wind up winning a big game against SC. Oh, but is Cam Rising back? I don't understand how that's an insult. The kid tore every ligament in his knee, and you're saying what? Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So, main event. We'll see. Don't go MIA on Monday. Okay. Kevin the Destroyer. Pew, pew.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Smith. Hutchinson is clearly lying as he benefited from the sign stealing. I don't know if he's lying. I just don't know why you would talk about it like that. I mean, especially whether he knew or not. I mean, I don't know why you would say, yeah, I didn't know anything about that when I was at Michigan. That wasn't, I never saw it.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude.
Jim R. Harbaugh does whatever he feels necessary, ignoring the NCAA. Yeah, pays zero mind to them.
Yeah, doesn't care.
Yeah, no, absolutely no doubt about it. Kaufman. So Monty, are you thinking the death penalty for Michigan? Well, the death penalty is no longer a thing. I think they will wind up limiting recruiting. I think they will wind up likely having a less ability to recruit off campus. I think that Jim Harbaugh himself will get a 5-year show cause notice, which means you will have to pay penalties. If you're a university that wants to hire Jim Harbaugh, you will have to, one, make a case that there is not a better option out there for you. So you will have to show cause why Jim is the guy you need. I believe there will be penalties handed down in the form of scholarship reductions if you hire a coach on a show cause. So it makes it almost impossible for him to get a job.
And again, can I just ask this again for the 100th time this week? Why would you hire him? He was sign stealing and still didn't win a national championship.
And why are, to piggyback on that, why are Michigan fans so loyal to Jim Harbaugh? He has won nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And if this is proven out, he never beat Ohio State. If this sign stealing scheme is proven to be everything that we've been told it is, he never beat Ohio State.
Oh.
Plain and simple. Woodworth says, would Stallions, I think that's what that says, be Michigan? Okay, good luck, man. Let's, I don't know what you mean. Mike Smith, hint of what world do you live in? I ask because every college reporter is talking about the Michigan story as well as a number of college football YouTube programs. So no, they are not the only ones.
Yeah.
No, they're not. You know, it's crazy to me. Aaron says, what's poppin', haters? What's up? Mike Smith, it makes you wonder if Michigan had anything to do with this private investigation in order to get rid of Jim. No. You guys, what I think happened is everything was kosher until Matt Weiss got in trouble with the law. Until there were computer access crimes committed allegedly inside of Michigan football that were traced back to Matt Weiss. And I think then the FBI got involved. The Detroit Free Press reported yesterday 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then Michigan was like, well, we better investigate. We better bring in an outside firm to figure out exactly what the hell they're doing. And then this outside firm came in and audited and uncovered a massive cheating scandal. And because they're probably a licensed forensic firm, is my guess, they have a responsibility. Their due diligence includes, hey, we got to turn this over to the authorities.
Yeah.
And the authorities in this case is the NCAA.
You know,
because if you turn it over to Michigan, Michigan's going to bury it. And so as somebody that's a licensed professional, like investigative firms like this are, or auditing forensic firms are, you have to turn it over to the NCAA. And I think the proper terminology would be a fiduciary responsibility would be to the authorities in this case. You have to act ethically. And I think that's exactly what happened here. Alex Rea, Michigan's being crushed would be a boon for the sport, not a hindrance. Perhaps, I don't know.
I don't think I can't sit here and say that, cheating or cheating that produces issues with the integrity of the game. That's not good for the sport. I think that big news stories bringing attention to the sport, okay, that's never really a bad thing. But when it includes, hey, did you cheat to beat Ohio State? That's not good for the sport on any level.
2 years in a row and once at the shoe. Oh no, we were just more talented. We outcoached them. Oh, until it turns out that you bought tickets to 8 of their games.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that video evidence is on your computer.
Yeah.
So, and you use the memo account with your own name attached to it.
And this is definitely something that's going to forever change how the Big Ten, goes about monitoring scouting and compliance. Yeah, this is forever going to change compliance.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it. And it would be shocking to me, knowing the depth of this scandal, if everybody at Michigan wasn't bucked up and didn't get to BuckedUp.com to get themselves some buckshot,
I totally agree, man.
that'd be stunning
Yeah.
because you have to be of clear mind when you're making these big decisions
and
in your
maybe
life.
that's the excuse for Jim. You know, he didn't have a buckshot, and he wasn't
That
of
makes
sound
a lot of sense
mind.
to me.
You know,
Makes
that's
a lot
just
of
what
sense.
the issue was.
Yeah, he didn't have the 200 milligrams of naturally sourced caffeine. He didn't have all the brain food that comes in this little bottle that gives you the ability to do what needs to be done. If you got to power through the rest of your day, if you got to get that report done, the pivot table, the Excel spreadsheet, if you are a football analyst, it's got to go through a bunch of video that your interns brought back from Ohio State. You just pound a buckshot, bro.
You know,
You pound a buckshot that you got for free in the link in the description of this here showroom. In the description below, there is a link to get 6 free buckshot samples. Go hook it up right now. Here's, in a nutshell, all you need to know about BuckedUp: the best ingredients that make the best products that do exactly what they say they're going to do. It's 35 past hour number 1. 2.5 hours to go. I'm going to drink this buckshot right now. Because there's 2 O's in douchebag.
Yeah.
We're going to drink these buckshots right now, and we are going to cruise for the next 2.5 hours. Ice cold. You guys, right now it's 82 degrees in our studio. It is absolutely boiling in here.
Yeah.
You know, we'll be okay. We'll sweat off some calories apparently. But we're still going to be fine because we have mental clarity and a lot of energy from Buckshot. BuckedUp.com. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off your purchase at BuckedUp.com.